She swiped my credit card to buy a birthday gift for her ex, claiming it was just a friendly gesture, then concocted a story about where the $500 had vanished. Instead of disputing the charge, I ensured her ex had the full scoop. He returned the gift and shared screenshots of her pleading with him to cover for her. So, my girlfriend Lisa seems to think my credit card is a shared resource. Last week, she splurged $500 of my money on a birthday present for her former boyfriend and had the gall to lie about it right to my face. I've been with Lisa for 8 months, and things were fine until she started getting chummy with her ex, Marcus, again. She was constantly texting him and making plans to meet up. Red flags were flying, but I thought I'd give it some time. A few weeks ago, she mentioned Marcus's 30th birthday was approaching. She expressed a desire to get him something memorable since it was a big milestone. I didn't give it much thought at the time. Then, I received a notification from my bank about a $500 charge at an electronics store. Lisa has access to one of my cards for shared expenses like food and gas. I called her to inquire about the charge, and she immediately concocted a story about how her laptop was malfunctioning, and she found an unbeatable deal on a refurbished replacement that she had to buy right away. The issue? Her laptop was functioning fine, maybe a bit sluggish, but nothing that screamed emergency replacement. So, I decided to investigate what was actually purchased. I drove over to Tech One Electronics with my credit card and receipt number from the bank app. I showed them my ID and asked what had been bought. It turned out to be a PlayStation 5 console for $500. Exactly. Not a laptop. Lisa had used my money to buy her ex a $500 gaming console, then lied and claimed it was a laptop for herself. Update 1. The missing laptop. For the following week, Lisa stuck to her complicated story about waiting for her laptop delivery. Every day brought a new excuse about shipping delays or technical issues. Meanwhile, she was using her perfectly functional old laptop right in front of me. When I pointed out that her supposedly broken laptop seemed to be working just fine, she brushed it off, saying it was just having a good day. Technology can be unpredictable, after all. The dedication to this obvious lie was almost impressive. She'd rather pretend to wait for a non-existent laptop than admit she spent my money on her ex. By the end of the week, I asked where the laptop was, and she claimed there were complications with the order. Might even need a refund. Such a convenient excuse. Update 2. The birthday bash revelation. Sunday was Marcus's big day. Lisa spent hours getting ready, looking like she was preparing for a wedding rather than a casual birthday party. She left around 7, looking like she was going out to a club. I spent the evening scrolling through social media and finally found Marcus through Lisa's tagged photos. His Instagram was public, and around 11, he posted a story showing off his birthday gifts, including a shiny new PlayStation 5 on his coffee table. His caption mentioned amazing friends and the best birthday ever. Real subtle. I knew I needed to chat with Marcus, but I didn't want to look like an overly jealous boyfriend. So, I waited until the next day and sent him a friendly message. I introduced myself as Lisa's boyfriend and mentioned that I'd seen his birthday post. I told him the PlayStation looked incredible and asked if he was enjoying it, just casual conversation. He replied quickly, thanking me and saying it was an unbelievable surprise. Someone had really gone all out for his 30th. That's when I asked if he knew how much Lisa spent on it. He said no, but figured it must have been pricey. So, I told him it was exactly $500 charged to my credit card. Poor guy was stunned. He had no clue Lisa had used my money. She told him she'd been saving for months and working extra shifts to afford something special for his milestone birthday. Update 3. Time for confrontation. The next day, I asked Lisa how the party went. She clung to her story about gifting him a nice bottle of wine. Nothing extravagant, just a thoughtful gesture. When I mentioned seeing Marcus's Instagram post about the PlayStation, she feigned ignorance, claiming she didn't know anything about gaming and had no idea what I was talking about. So, I laid it all out. I had verified the purchase at the store, that Marcus had posted pictures of his new PlayStation, and that her laptop story was a complete fabrication. Her reaction was classic. First, she went into total denial. When that didn't work, she shifted to excuses. She was going to tell me eventually. She knew I'd be upset, so she thought lying would be easier. Marcus was just a friend, and she wanted to do something nice for his birthday. $500 nice for an ex-boyfriend. Quite the generous friendship budget. When I asked how she planned to repay me, she promised she would, but but couldn't say when or how. Her part-time income barely covered her own bills, let alone replacing $500. Update 4, the screenshots. This is where it gets truly entertaining. Marcus started sending me screenshots of his texts with Lisa after I spilled the truth. She was trying to do damage control and get him to help cover up the whole mess. First, she downplayed it, saying, "We share expenses, and it's not a big deal." When Marcus pointed out that sharing expenses doesn't mean spending someone's money without consent, she got desperate and begged him to tell me he felt bad about such an expensive gift and had insisted on paying her back. When he refused, she got creative, offering to pay him to lie for her. Then, when that didn't work, she suggested they could spend time together like old times, hinting that if he helped her out of this mess, she'd be eternally grateful. Marcus wasn't having any of it. He told her she'd committed fraud and wasn't going to help her cover it up. He called her out for trying to use him twice. First for the gift, now for the lie. The screenshots were brutal to read. Lisa went from confident to panic to desperate all in a matter of hours. Update 5. Marcus does the honorable thing. Marcus felt so bad about the entire situation that he decided to return the PlayStation. He said he couldn't keep something that had essentially been stolen, even though he had no idea at the time. He went back to Tech Zone and explained everything. They wouldn't issue a full cash refund since the console had been opened and used, but they offered him $400 in store credit. He generously offered to transfer that credit to me since it was my card that paid for it in the first place. The store manager was understanding after Marcus explained what had transpired. In the meantime, Lisa kept texting him, trying to get him to change his story. More screenshots of increasingly frantic messages. She was unraveling. I was ready to break up with her. How could he do this to her after everything they meant to each other? Marcus firmly shut her down, reminding her they had dated 2 years ago and had broken up for valid reasons. He pointed out that using her current boyfriend's money to try to win back her ex was completely ludicrous. He told her he was done with her drama and blocked her number. Final update. It's been 2 weeks now, and Lisa is still trying to recover from this catastrophe. She spent the first week crying and threatening self-harm if I didn't forgive her misunderstanding. Then she roped in mutual friends to pressure me about being unreasonable over a minor mistake. Most people stopped taking her side once they heard about her using my credit card to buy her ex a $500 birthday gift, and then lying about it. Marcus and I ended up bonding surprisingly well through this ordeal. We grabbed coffee last weekend, and he revealed that Lisa had been hinting at wanting to get back together for months. The PlayStation was supposed to be her grand gesture to win him back. He showed me more screenshots from before I even knew about the purchase. Lisa had been telling him how much she missed their relationship and how serious she was about wanting another chance. The expensive gift was meant to demonstrate she cared enough to make sacrifices for his happiness. Instead, it just proved she was willing to steal from her current boyfriend to fund her manipulative tactics. I decided to use the store credit to buy myself a fantastic speaker system for my apartment. A much better use of $400 than financing Lisa's failed reunion tour. Lisa has been posting vague messages on social media about toxic relationships and ungrateful people, showcasing her complete lack of self-awareness. I had to contact my bank and revoke her access to my credit card entirely. She had been making small purchases for a week after everything came to light, apparently hoping I wouldn't notice. Last I heard, she's trying to borrow money from her family to pay me back the full $500. Most of them have told her to get a second job instead of seeking handouts. The irony is perfect. Lisa's grand scheme to win back Marcus with an expensive stolen gift ended up convincing him she was completely unstable. Nothing says relationship material like credit card fraud followed by desperate cover-up attempts. Marcus recently started dating someone new. Someone who apparently uses her own money for gifts instead of stealing from her current boyfriend to fund presents for her ex. As for me, I learned that some people believe being in a relationship grants them unlimited access to your wallet. Lisa was mistaken, and now she's discovering what financial independence truly costs. Hey viewers, this saga serves as a prime example of how some individuals think relationships entitle them to unrestricted access to your financial resources. Lisa effectively treated her boyfriend's credit card like her personal piggy bank. When she got caught, she doubled down with lies instead of coming clean. What makes this tale so satisfying is how the truth unraveled on its own. This guy didn't need an elaborate revenge scheme. He simply allowed Lisa to dig her own grave deeper with every lie she spun. The laptop story was so transparently false that it was almost insulting to his intelligence. But the real kicker is that Lisa was using her current boyfriend's money to try to win back her ex-boyfriend. Just think about the audacity of that. She was literally funding her own betrayal with stolen money. When Marcus discovered the truth, he was so appalled that he immediately returned the gift and exposed all her desperate attempts to cover it up. The screenshots Marcus shared are comedic gold because they showed just how far Lisa was willing to go to avoid accepting responsibility. She went from denial to bargaining to literally offering to rekindle their relationship to get someone to lie for her. That's not remorse. That's manipulation and bribery. What I admire about Marcus in this narrative is that he acted with integrity as soon as he learned the truth. He didn't try to keep the stolen gift or play both sides. He returned it and refused to partake in Lisa's cover-up. That shows real character. The ending is perfect because Lisa's grand gesture to win back her ex ultimately pushed him away forever and cost her her current relationship. She managed to lose two men with one foolish act, all because she assumed she was smarter than everyone else. This story demonstrates that the truth always comes to light eventually, especially when you're dealing with someone who has no regard for boundaries or basic honesty. Sometimes the best revenge is simply letting people expose themselves entirely.